Okay, so in today's video, we're going to be looking at some recent single-family homes in Fort Lauderdale that sold under $900,000. And you might be thinking, Janelle, $900,000 is still a lot of money. Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that $900,000 is a lot of money, but guess what? Back in 2020, people were relocating to South Florida from different states looking for affordability and, no state taxes. People who are now moving to, South Florida, fast forward 2026, they're looking for a lifestyle. Now, my name is Janelle Barajas, and I am a real estate expert here in South Florida. I want to thank you for being back on today's video. Make sure to like this video if you enjoy it and subscribe. You can also book a call with me at the number below because I am very active in this market. Now, what I noticed in previous years is that if you were looking for a good deal, you were going to be sacrificing key components in the purchase of a home. We're talking floor plans, we're talking location, and oftentimes square footage. I was surprised to find recently that there were a lot of good options that have sold in under $900,000 in the Fort Lauderdale area. All right, so I'm just gonna go share my screen and we're just gonna jump right into it. All right, so firstly, I want to just point out the map. Here's the Atlantic Ocean. Here's Fort Lauderdale. And let me zoom in. These are the neighborhoods, right? So we're looking at Coral Ridge, Oakland, well, Oakland Park is its own city, but you're looking at Coral Ridge Isles. You're looking at, let's see, other neighborhoods here. Southport, I believe I saw here Coruscant Park, Victoria Park. So these are the neighborhoods that essentially we're going to be looking at today that have properties that sold under $900,000. So let's look at the results here. I'm going to show you this first property, essentially sold for $870,000, listed on the market for $899,000. You're looking at 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. Approximate living space is, square footage, 1,758 in the Coral Ridge subdivision. Let's look here. Look at the pictures of the home. We're talking, it looks like fully or a new roof here. Really nice landscaping. You have a nice driveway here. And it looks like the garage is, it looks like you have hurricane impact windows. The exterior looks really nice and really renovated. So yeah, the roof looks like it's new as well. And you have pretty good square footage in the back, right? A lot of people, it depends on what they're looking for. Some people they don't want a backyard, they want a pool. But I found that most recent buyers that are looking in the area are coming for, they're looking for more acres in the back, more square footage in the back. So it really just depends on the preference. And again, it looks like they had essentially, new windows installed, hurricane impact windows. There's the neighborhood. You're looking at a nicely renovated kitchen, new appliances, new cabinets, a nice little, not little, it's nice and large island there. And you have a nice living space there as well. You have recessed lighting. It's an open layout. A nicely, the rooms look like they have enough space. Now here it is without any furniture. Dishwasher, stove, microwave, the basics. A nice countertop there as well. So we wouldn't look at all the pictures, but this gives you an idea of what, 870 got you for this area. Now we're going to look at the next property, and this is over in Whispering Oaks. This is in Fort Lauderdale. Sold price was $845,000. They listed it for $879,000. Looks like it's a 3 bedroom, 3 bath, and 2,187 square feet. We're just briefly going to look through the pictures. This is one where Again, if the buyers were just looking for a pool, primarily this is what property they would go for. It looks like they sacrificed some of the landscape for the pool, but hey, that is oftentimes what buyers are looking for. So this essentially is a townhome, nicely renovated, nice landscaping, nice flooring, open layout, nice kitchen, recessed lighting. I mean, this is a really nice home. So it looks like it's a 4-seater on that island. That refrigerator looks really nice too. Pretty spacious. Here's the living room with sliding doors going outside to the pool. So you have a nice indoor-outdoor feel. That's a really nice bathroom, you know, fully renovated. You have glass doors. It looks like there's a window above, you know, in that shower area, but you have curtains, you know, curtains there for privacy. And again, here's the open layout of the living room. We're walking outside daytime in the pool. It's a really nice indoor-outdoor space, and it looks like there is some space there for a playhouse for kids. So yeah, that is the second home. We're going to go down to the third home in the Lauderdale Pines area. Listed for $825,000, sold at $800,000. You're looking at a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,545 square feet. And here are the pictures of the exterior. You have some nice, you know, pavers on the driveway, nice landscaping. It looks like new stucco on the exterior and tile roof. It also has a pool with a patio outside, so it's good for entertainment if that's what you're going for when you're relocating out here. Minimal, you know, maintenance in terms of landscaping. And here it is. This looks like it's a essentially Florida room is what we call it here, but it looks really nice. You have a lot of windows there as well for that, you know, lighting during the day. That was your kitchen and the dining space area. You're looking at a lower square footage, but it's in prime location. So there's going to be times that you might still have to sacrifice, you know, square footage based on the proximity of where you're looking to live. And again, recessed lightings. So here are a couple. Let's exit out. Let's go down to our next property. Here we have a home over at Imperial Point, priced at essentially priced at $799,000, sold for $765,000. You're looking at a 2-car garage, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Living square footage is 2,150, and we can look at those pictures. So it also has a pool. You have some landscape on the side there that, you know, you might want to do your own garden. I don't know. But I mean, this again gives you that indoor-outdoor feel. Here's a floor plan. So it looks like they have different tiles throughout the home. Some people are okay with that. Some people are not. But it's still sold pretty well. It's a beautiful home. Look at the interior. I mean, that's a lot of square footage for a living space, right? And then here is the bedroom. The bedroom essentially has, you know, French doors to go out to the pool area. It's a little dated compared to the other two that we saw, but the other two were in a higher price range. The lower the price range, we're going to start seeing a little bit more dated homes. But they still have good bones. Here you have a walk-in closet, a dated bathroom. All right, and so we're going to exit out of this property and go on to the next. And some of these properties may have HOAs as well. But we're not going to discuss those during this call. Otherwise, it will take a long time. HOA, it's its own conversation, right? It's its own video. So for this specific property, it looks like it is over in Avon Isles, sold for $760,000, listed for $775,000. You're looking at a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single family home. You're looking at nice landscaping. And it has canal view. So let me see here. Yeah, it looks like there's some people there that can, station their boats. It depends if you're in a fixed bridge or a non-fixed bridge area where you can park your boats, and depends on the dock space for the size of the boat that you bring. So here's a living room. It looks like it's brand new. It looks, right? We don't know definitively, but it looks like you have newer doors, newer windows, recessed lightings. Not always will newer doors be hurricane impact, so I'd be cautious of that. Just these look like they are. I just don't want to tell you that it is if it's not. And it opens over to the kitchen. Here's a dining room area. It's a little dated, right? Is it move-in ready? Yeah, it is. It depends on your preference. So if you're saying, yeah, I can move in and gradually repair or renovate because it's not inhabitable, right? You can still move in with your kitchen looking like this, just that along the years you could always make changes, renovations, It's good bones here. And so you're looking again at the living room area, washer, dryer, more storage. Here are the rooms. Here are the bathrooms. And again, to my point before, the lower you start seeing the price, the more work you'll have to do in the home. Some people are okay with it. And, in the mindset that they bring to the table is that it'll create more equity throughout the years. All right, so let's exit out of here. And let's go over to Del Mar Laguna Isles. 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath, sold for $750,000. List price was $775,000. So here we're looking at a townhome, beautiful landscape, nice square footage. It is move-in ready, right? It does look like it has popcorn ceiling. I don't know if that's a deal breaker for some. The kitchen looks like it needs some renovations, but again, it's move-in ready. It's not something that you have to go in and say, well, I can't move in here because it needs a full reno. It's not a full reno. It just depends on what you're looking for when you're working with properties that are not renovated when you purchase it. You just renovate it based on your style. So here again is the kitchen. There's a lot of storage. Here's the living room with a sliding door to the exterior. It's a pretty nicely sized bedroom. There were the stairs. Here are other bedrooms. Here's a bathroom. Here is the shower with the glass doors. Yeah, this is nice here. All right, so let's exit out of this home and go on to the next. All right, so we're looking at Chula Vista area. Sold price was $725,000, listed at $750,000. We're looking at a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. So let's look at the pictures. You have a nice little driveway, and it looks like it's right on the canal. So you have, and that is a dock. It just doesn't tell you the size of the dock. Let's take a look. So it does have a fixed bridge, which means that depending on the height of the bridge, you may or may not be able to bring a boat there. Oftentimes in a fixed bridge, you could do, paddle boards, that type of stuff. But again, it's all depending on the size of that fixed bridge. So, you know, that's something to think about when you're purchasing a home on a canal. Doesn't really tell you the size of that dock, but it gives you an idea here. It's not that big. So it looks like they did have one parked there, relatively small, but it's good if you want to stay in the intracoastal area or on the canals we have nearby. They have a pool, again, with that indoor-outdoor living lifestyle. And it looks like the kitchen is pretty neat conditions. They did a good job in painting the cabinets. You have recessed lightings. Looks like marble countertop. New, appliances. I like the tiles. You have good space for the living room, dining room. It looks like a bedroom that leads out to the pool. Those look like sliding doors there. I guess someone would use it for a bedroom or an office space. And again, here is your outdoor with the pool and the canal access. All right, so let's exit out of that one, go on to the next. Here we have a single family home sold at $700,000 over at Imperial Point. 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 2,382 square feet. Let's take a look. So again, the lower the price range, the more you have to do some work. It looks like you have to do some work on that driveway, but it's not like something that can't wait, right? So you have good square footage in terms of living room. Some people hate, these glass walls. They tend to remove them once they move in. Some people love them. It just depends on what you're looking for. Here's the carpet in one of the rooms. I mean, these are nicely spacious rooms. And here again is the living room. Tile mostly throughout, but I see some carpet in some of those. This is a sliding door. It looks like it may be dated, so they may have to replace that at some point. And the kitchen looks a little dated, so they may have to do some renovations. Even the recessed lightings look a little dated. But again, it's nothing that you could still move in, and make renovations as you're living there. Now, the appliances do look a little older, but again, nothing where it's like, oh, I can't move in here. And so, yeah, it looks like mostly the bedrooms have the carpet, and then the rest of the house have tiles. Here are the closets. Here are the bathrooms. Bathrooms are dated too. All right, so this one we're likely going to skip. That's a rendering. That's not an actual photo of a property. They're just giving you ideas of what you can do in terms of essentially if you purchase that home, new construction type of ideas. Let's go to the next one. This is Imperial Point. So this driveway, I mean, it looks like it's newer, so you wouldn't have to do much work on the driveway. And the interior is really nice. So we're looking at recessed lightings, totally renovated kitchen, right? And we're looking at recessed lightings throughout the entire home from what I see. And I love how the tile really goes throughout, from the living room to the kitchen. I think that's really nice. And here's the pool. I like the pool. It's not too big where it overpowers like most of the outdoor. They do have tiles throughout, and some of the, you know, the grass and stones. Oh, look, and then you can do mini golf. I like that. That's neat. All right, so we're back to the kitchen. It's nice. There's a lot of storage. You have the storage going up to the ceiling. It looks like it's, you know, new appliances. Just that it looks a little small. But for the price, I think it's a good deal. Here are the bedrooms. Here's the bathroom, fully renovated. I mean, they did a really good job with this. I mean, I would argue this is a rehab, you know, but they did a really good job with this rehab. There you go. All right. On to the next. Here we have Croissant Park. I have to say that Croissant Park is, oh my God, it's in close proximity to Fort Lauderdale Airport, even though I showed you there in the maps, but it's close proximity to a lot that's going on in the Fort Lauderdale area. So, and they're not too high. You know, you still look, for instance, this is a home that sold at $639,000, a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,157 square feet. Now, in Croissant Park, there's a variation of properties, right? You might see some properties that have a good size, and then you might see properties like this that are smaller but fully renovated. So here's the living room, kitchen. I love the kitchen. You have great space here. Look at the cabinets throughout. You have recessed lightings. You have the hood. You have the oven. You have a small like 2-seater island. But I don't know, if you have a small family, this would be ideal. I can see like you cooking there in front of the stove and then feeding the kids. I don't know. And if it's not kids, then it could be you and your significant other. The bathroom, I would say, is not fully renovated, but it's still in good conditions. Like, this is move-in ready, you know. Here's the washer dryer area, and then here's your backyard. So that's a lot of backyard. And it looks like these are stones, and then you have your own seating area. You have some banana trees back here. So there's a lot going on back there. I absolutely love it. Look at that. That's a lot of backyard. How many pools can you put back there? I feel like you could put 2 pools, right? That is a lot. I don't know. I think this is like your fireplace, I think. That's what it looks like. It is a corner lot. For some, it's a deal breaker. Some people don't want to be in a corner lot. But, you know, essentially the Croissant Park area, it's a good area to live in. So others might just be like, I don't care. I love this area. I want that property, regardless of it being in the corner lot. All right. So here we go on to another single family home. We're looking at Lauderdale Park with a pool, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, sold for $625,000, listed for $629,000. Here you go. It's a nice, nicely renovated. You have recessed lightings. The kitchen looks nice. I like how the kitchen looks like. The stone not everyone may love this stone, but it's still nicely renovated. Look at that. That's a really nice space between the kitchen and the living room. It's kind of tight. I have to say it's a little tight between the entrance and the living room, but it's still good space. Here we go. In the kitchen area, you can seat up to 5 people. So I find that to be a plus. And then you have French doors going outside. That's a nice bathroom. I really like that bathroom. I like the marble throughout in the shower. It looks like it's frosted windows for privacy. You have a tub shower. I like it. It's nice. It's quaint. You could fit a bunk bed there, and it's private. There's fence so for privacy as well. One thing that you'll find in South Florida is that most of our houses have fences. We all want our privacy. So when you don't find a fence, it's like, okay, that's different. All right, so here we are. Very beautiful home. And that's the pool. I like it. I like the shaded area here. Do I love that it's in front of the AC unit? Not really, but that's just fine. Here's a nicely sized pool, and there's tile throughout, and here's a grass area where you can maybe, I don't know, plant something. Still looks like a lot of space there, right? So the pool isn't too big. I like that. And I like how this neighbor has bushes to, essentially give it that extra layer of privacy. All right, so, and here's a shed and a very mini golf. All right, so let's go on to the next home. Well, actually, that was it. All right, so here you go. There were 10 properties in Fort Lauderdale and under $900,000. Thank you for watching and listening, and we'll see you soon.